Okay, let's take a look. Here's the little bug guy. Remember I told you? You see the outline of a person? But that thing is really inside the person. So it's actually creating, you know, the illusion that there's a person there. Now I know this is bizarre, and what isn't in any of my videos, but I'm going to show you something that's in real life, which is, I mean, there's something really weird going on here. Okay, so take a good look at this guy here, and let me get the clip, let me get the picture that I took from a 9/11 video. This is a clip from a 9/11 video, okay? You see what's wrong with this clip? You see what's wrong? See, there's messages being sent. There's messages being sent, and once I show you what's wrong with this picture, it's going to make perfect sense. I want you to look at the lady. Look at the woman. These things are here, man, I'm telling you. Whatever they are, they're here. Look at the design on the back of her shirt. Does that look familiar to you? You've seen it before, right? Could it be a coincidence? Possibly. But what takes away the coincidence? What takes away the coincidence of the hexagram, which is a cube? Okay, what takes that away is the guy standing next to her. Do you see what's wrong with him? Remember that little bug thing? Well, let's get a close-up look at her dress just to make sure we're all looking at the same thing. You see it? So it's a hexagon. We all know it's a cube. And then it's another cube inside. I'll explain this to you later. And there's actually another cube inside of that. But let's just stay with the big cube on the outside. That all goes back to Saturn, the Kabbalistic tree of life. But I want you to take a look at this again before I show you the clincher here. So we know we've got the hexagon on the back of this lady's blouse. It was a 911 video that I remember. What do you see on the guy next to her? What do we just see in the previous clip with the little bug guy that was disguising himself as a human? I can't even believe I'm talking about this crap. You know, I was raised a Lutheran. You know, I grew up as a Lutheran. You know, I mean, I don't know about any of this stuff. But let's take a look. Let's see what it is. Okay, so here's a close-up of the guy. Watch between his back and his arm that's facing you. Watch when I do the overlay. Do you see it now? Watch very closely. I'm blowing it up. You see it? This isn't by chance. There's no way in hell that this is by chance. There's that little bug face that was in the movie. Okay, let me give you that clip. Let me give you that clip again, so you can see the cube and the little critter standing side by side in the 9/11 video. There's some very weird shit going on here. Okay, you see? There we go. So now we have the hexagon, kind of like a bee. A hexagon or a cube, and there's a little insect face. You see it? What are the coincidences of that happening? And I'll show you something that's even more bizarre. Let me get that clip. This is the icon of some guy that's bothering one of my friends. Okay, I can't say the name. It's not my right to. But you know, it looks really similar to those other two that we saw. I'm telling you. I'm not saying that these are like aliens, like with, you know, little green men. That cube is that cube that's in the UN prayer room that represents Saturn, which is the god of time and space, is some type of a porthole. And none things have been slipping around here since the beginning of time. You can call them fallen angels, you can call them whatever the hell you want to, demons, whatever. Those things are here, and they're masquerading as people. That's why the Bible, Jesus talked about the parable. There are those that look like men and die like men, but are not men. Again, as I said at the beginning of the video, why is there a big black cube sitting in the UN prayer room? It represents Saturn. The only reason it's there is because we're connected to it. It's because we're connected to it. Most people don't even know that thing is sitting in there, and they don't know what the connection is. In my opinion, just my opinion, there are things here that are causing the world events that you're saying now. They're involved in the government. They're involved in entertainment. They're involved in everything you see going on, because man cannot be doing this. I ain't buying that shit no more. You know, when they were testing the atomic bombs in right after World War II, they blew a lot of them off in the desert, but they blew some off. It was called the Bikini Bomb Test, and those islands were some of the nicest, most beautiful waters on the planet, and they were detonating atomic bombs there. This is whatever's doing this is not human. You know, if you're a religious person, you can call them demons. If you're a New Age, you want to call them aliens. Whatever, they're slipping through time. You know, the Bible clearly tells us that there's other things here besides us, so it's not far-fetched. They're not even in the least. And that pesky ball with the ring around it keeps winding up at the center of all this stuff. I think there's things here posing as people. Well, they made a movie called Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They looked like people, but they weren't. And what about that other movie, They Live? See, they're always trying to tell you. Most people just look at that stuff as just stories, but there are those things here that are impersonating people. And they're the ones that are behind it. I just hope that all that stuff isn't bad. Because if it is, excuse my language, we're fucked. You know the FEMA camps? You know the red, yellow, blue, green, I keep telling you that? Well, that's how they're listed, red, yellow, blue, and green. You know, depending on where they're going to send you, red, yellow, blue, green. If you're green, that's fine. You're sticking around. If they send you to red, you're gone. You know, in those coffins, you know, it makes me wonder, are those actually coffins that hold 4 people, or are those shipping crates? You know, why did God create man and then place him in a garden? Well, what comes out of a garden? Food comes out of a garden. And why are we called consumers? You know, where does that word come from? And the Jews call us goyim. It means cattle. Well, are they calling us cattle because we're stupid? Or are they calling it because we're a food source? And I'm not implying that the Jews are eating the Gentiles. I'm just saying there's something very hokey about the wording and all of this stuff. The Holocaust. What really went on in those camps? Because if you knew what the word Holocaust really meant biblically, it means a burnt offering or sacrifice. And the first one was when Cain killed his brother. The Lord said, bring your sacrifice unto the Lord, or your Holocaust. It was used the first time in the Old Testament. Bring your Holocaust, burnt offering or sacrifice. I'm out of time, I gotta go. Just think about it. One last thing before you write me off as a complete nut. There's a guy, what's the date on this? I can't see it, but December? This guy was running around shooting people, and he would just walk up to him and say something about honeybees, and then he would shoot them. You know, it just falls right in line with the other stuff that I said. The little bug-looking dude that looked like a person, and they said that it was a police officer that was doing it, and then when they got the police officer, they said, oh, well, we know it wasn't him because he was at home sitting in front of the computer. When they said, how can you prove that? They said, well, he pushed a key on the computer, and that proves it. Although they have no eyewitness that he's the one that did it. It's just the honeybee. These are things that are impersonating people. This is why, isn't it interesting that the shooter wound up dead? So that puts that to sleep. There are those things that are mimicking people here. Go look this up, the honeybee shooter in Illinois. You'll see it. I'm telling you, they're here.
Prophetic than his prediction of space travel in Things to Come, more imaginative than his laser beams in War of the Worlds, more frightening than his warning of nuclear holocaust in The Time Machine. From H.G. Wells, history's most incredible prophet, now comes his most incredible story, Empire of the Ants, the terrifying tale of civilization fighting for survival against armies of giant ants 10 feet tall, who control the human population by drugging them into submission. And man, the master, becomes man, the slave. Joan Collins, Robert Lansing, H.G. Wells, Empire of the Ants. H.G. Wells has predicted many of today's scientific wonders, but nothing more startling than his prediction of dangers to come in the Empire of the Ants. Giant ants are actually able to control humans.
We must obey.
H.G. Wells' Empire of the Ants, rated PG.
spreads herself wide open to let the insects in. She leaves a trail of honey to show me where she's been. She has the blood of reptile just underneath her skin. Seeds from 1,000 others drip down from within. Oh, my beautiful liar. Oh, my precious heart. My disease, my infection.
There's nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. Come on. Nothing to fear. Please, come on. Isn't she beautiful? She's fantastic. She needs us. That's why it has to be this way. Why we must obey. We have no choice.
Devils speak of the way in which you'll manifest. Angels bleed from the tainted touch of our caress. Need to contaminate, to alleviate this loneliness. I now know the depths I reach are limitless.